at least this is how it appears in my head. It's kind of like jazz. Now, I'm not even a big fan of jazz, but I do find it fascinating that there's a pace that, one person's playing and then other people start to join in and add their little bits and pieces. Same thing. So there's like a lead guy, which is you, the DM. You're driving the story. You're presenting options to drive the story forward. Now, you can't play the whole song by yourself. At least you can, but it's going to be boring, right? For everybody listening and for the guys up on stage who are waiting to play their turn too. Very boring. Okay, so now you're playing your tune, and what's interesting is you might have, your circle of order might be a couple different sequences of chords, let's say, that you're playing. Okay, but now as other players, all these other instruments come and join you, they're playing their each unique pieces, right? And then this song forms, okay, this flow, if you will. And sometimes when these jazz players can really get into this flow, the music, some of the best things can happen out of there, right? Because as you enter more into this chaos, you don't really know who's going where in this jazz performance. And this can be good and bad, right? A lot of times maybe the jazz does not do as well, and sometimes it's really good, right? It can be a great performance as they attempt to conquer the chaos, not knowing, they're outside of this order. New things can be discovered and better things can be discovered, right? And so this idea that as your players get outside of this realm of chaos, you have the potential to create an even better story, to have an even better experience, to allow your players to have an even better time at the table, right? If I look back at most of the memorable times of all my campaigns, it is when I've lost my. It's mostly when I have been pushed outside of that circle of order. And so because of that, I've had to just respond to players' actions. I've had to start improvising, and sometimes characters spawn out of chaos sometimes it just comes and I say something and things roll along really well. And so I guess what I'm saying is we need to try as DMs to be able to get a little comfortable with exploring chaos, right? We need to be able to. Now, chaos isn't good all the time either, because if you open up to your players and you say, all right, guys, just do whatever you want to do. Like, what do you want to do? Let's do it today, right? There's not a lot that goes well unless you've got really instigative players and they have their own ambitions and their own storylines that they're pursuing. At that point, they're practically, I could argue that they're DMing almost at that point and playing potentially. I don't know. I haven't really thought about that enough. And maybe we'll table that and we'll come back to that in a second. But the point is that your players need some level of order, some level of structure, but not too much. If it's too much, the players feel like, right, that their choices don't matter and that they're just watching you unfold this story out in front of them.